Hello everybody, it's Dr. D again. Today we're going to talk about my really simple and cheap way to clean my Glocks. Glocks I bought in part due to the fact that they are very easy to operate, inexpensive to maintain, and one of those things is I don't have to clean them a lot. Because quite frankly, I don't know if many people actually enjoy cleaning guns. So I'm going to show you how I quick clean my Glock 19, although this could be done with most other Glock pistols as they all come apart very similarly. The internal workings of most of their pistols are the same, if not very close to the same. So we'll take a look at this and I'll show you my cheapy little method.
Field stripping a Glock, for the sake of people who haven't done it, is pretty simple. First we confirm that there's nothing in the chamber. The gun is not loaded. There's no clip in it. Then we pull down on the release. First we got to pull back a little bit on the slide. Pull down this lever, which sometimes can be a pain. And then the thing I always forget is to pull the trigger so the slide is disengaged and the slide comes straight off. So then we have the two pieces, the slide with the recoil spring and barrel in it, and the lower, the receiving end. We'll take this apart and I'll show you how we clean. The two main parts of my cleaning kit for my Glock, the general quickie clean, are toothbrushes and really inexpensive pipe cleaning brushes that I obtained from a dollar store. This pipe brush I use over and over again for the barrel. The toothbrush I use for most of the rest of the gun. I tend to like the ones with white bristles because the new ones, when they're clean, are obviously white. When you need to replace them, they turn dark, indicating that one, the gun was dirty, and two, that you got the dirt out. The nice thing about this is basically cleaning your gun for under $1. So I do apply lubricants and things, but I don't do that in every cleaning because my personal belief is most pistols, particularly Glocks, are over cleaned and subject to damage from the cleaning as opposed to being dirty and inoperable, because these pistols in part are useful because they operate when they're relatively dirty. So let's take it apart and actually use this stuff. First and foremost, in trying to determine if the pistol is actually dirty and needs to be cleaned is, one, a knowledge of what you're putting through it. My tendency is only to use jacketed bullets in my guns, particularly Glocks, because I don't want to have to clean them very often, and I realize that the way I'm cleaning it mainly, involving nylon brushing, doesn't remove a whole lot of lead that would be left in the barrel. So my tendency is to use jacketed only bullets. For the real newbie out there, this is a jacketed bullet. It has a covering over the bullet itself. In this case, this is a brass covered bullet. This is a Cellier and below 9mm. If you shoot a lot of bare lead in your gun, and of course this is 38, this wouldn't even go in my Glock, but I don't have a whole lot of bare lead except that I shoot through revolvers. But here's a semi-wad cutter in 38 with bare lead. My recommendation is, unless you really feel like cleaning your Glock quite frequently and using a lot of ballistol or solvents, I would recommend not using bare lead in your Glock. Okay, in the actual cleaning, first you got to take this thing apart a little bit more, which basically means removing the recoil spring, which pops right off, and pulling the barrel out. This gives you access to all the parts you need to do a quickie clean. This is not a detail clean, this is just a quickie clean. But in doing this, you want to be looking at the undersurface of the slide and brushing it out, which tells you, hey, look, there's some dirt on there. Not a whole lot, but this is a very clean brush. One of the nice things about using white brushes is they lend themselves into helping you determine, one, that you've cleaned the gun, and two, telling you when they need to be changed, which I'll probably be changing this one. Nevertheless, then I clean the receiver. I just brush it down, clean inside the well, and then up inside the handle where the magazine would be sitting. So see, this gun was just moderately dirty, as it was white bristled, and now these bristles are pretty much covered with goo, or rather powder. The spring you can brush off too. I don't get crazy with this thing. This isn't a durable center because this is stock. The center is simply a piece of plastic. Now for the barrel, that's where this funny little pipe brush comes in. This happens to be perfect to stick right down the barrel and just go back and forth with it a couple of times. And that's really all you need for a quickie clean. And I also brushed down the feeding ramp in this aspect of it. You can usually see, if you look carefully, the difference that it makes with regards to the cleaning. This is what I would consider to be a quickie clean, which I'll do probably every couple hundred rounds if I just shoot jacketed bullets, which is mostly what I'm doing. And every couple of times that I do this, I'll actually take a Q-tip with a little bit of rem oil and grease the slide interface components between where the slide and the receiver rims or rails interface with one another, as well as up in here in the mechanism involving the trigger and the firing pin. Nevertheless, that's my quickie clean, and you could see at the end of the clean the brush is, you know, moderately dirty. This brush I reuse incessantly. This is just for the barrel. Now again, if you use lead, straight lead, meaning non-jacketed bullets, you would probably have to use a brass brush to clean the barrel because you'd have more lead and matter that the nylon brush may not adequately remove. You'd probably also have to use solvents more often, like ballistol, which I like to stay away from, that organic type crap. Nevertheless, here's my quickie Dr. D, how to clean your Glock for under $1 in parts. Hope you enjoy it. Ciao.